So here's the update on the election. It's apparently over. Didn't you know? The media calls everything. Yeah, right. So most of the states are going through certification now and over the next week or whatever. Pennsylvania, Nevada, Michigan, Wisconsin, I don't know. But they're all certified. What does that mean? Not a whole hell of a lot if there's still outstanding lawsuits. And one that's going to be going through tomorrow, apparently, is Nevada. Now, this is going to be handled by Sidney Powell and her team that is fighting on behalf of Trump, but not affiliated with Trump. It's a whole fucking thing over there. Anyways, so we'll just go through this one quick because this is the only one concerning her. And we'll get off this fucking cancer site because I don't know about you, if you guys have seen Twitter here today, or really just social media in general. It's just all full of AIDS. And I'm pretty sure they just want you to be negative because if you go to any other non-news sites, things are pretty much all right. But as you can see, yeah, right there in the tab, I'm pointing to my screen, but it's, I guess, that way. Yeah, as you can see right there. Yeah, it's all, oh, COVID's so bad. Not today. Fuck that. So here's what's happening in Nevada tomorrow. Carson City judge is going to be hearing the election challenge filed by Trump electors. Has set a hearing for December 3rd at 1:30 p.m. local time. They will allow 15 depositions for each side between now and then. Attorney is going to be Sidney Powell and her crew, Jesse Binal. Sure. Binal said part of the challenge is over the use of the Agila scanner and signature matcher. Well, at least they're looking at signature matching and not fucking communist, Chinese, Venezuelan space monsters. Who fucking knows? It is important for sure, but is far from the main meat of our challenge, he said. All right, we could see fight over secretary relating to witnesses. Binal said he wants a protective order because of threats, but idea that a presidential election challenge would be resolved based on secret testimony seems highly implausible. List of challenger witnesses due by 5 p.m. local tomorrow. So yeah, they get all their ducks in a row so the challenge can kick off. So at least this one's going to trial when it hasn't been fucking thrown out on erroneous claims like the one in Pennsylvania, but we'll eventually get to there. First, we're going to take a little detour over to Wisconsin, and we got to stay on stupid Twitter for a hot second because this was the band that election observers were given during the recount in Wisconsin. I just stumbled across this story, and what fucking cancer is this? Honestly, you pay for this recount, the Trump team did, and then you get the election officials denigrated like that. They are not being gracious in what is probably going to end up being a victory, but at the same time, we need to see all of these lawsuits carried out. You know what? I was around in 2016. I didn't have any social media or anything, and yeah, I just watched the coverage online, but I don't remember it being this terrible. I knew that the right memed the fuck out of everything, but they weren't running around actually destroying stuff or harassing people. I don't seem to remember that. I was pretty involved. Off to the side, but I was still pretty involved. Now, it just shows you the difference between the two parties, but we'll take a look here at the story because, I can perfectly, summarize it with what they had to wear on their hand. Election observers given poop emoji wristbands during a recount in Wisconsin. They're trying to find a winner, but were shown number 2. Election observers in Wisconsin were given a wristband featuring smiling poop emojis to watch ballot recounts on Tuesday. Observers in the Wisconsin Center in downtown Milwaukee are given the band each day to show they've passed the health screening, according to the paper in the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. On some previous day, they had featured the word VIP, but Tuesday's cheeky decal caused a stink. A recount volunteer said she and others were forced to wear these bracelets to participate in the recount, a local conservative talk radio show host, Vicky McKenna, said. Staff attorneys and volunteers all wearing them. These people do not take elections seriously. A spokeswoman for the Wisconsin Election Commission told Post neither it nor the Milwaukee County Election Commission had a role in selecting the wristbands. Yeah, really? Okay. I don't know, I just work here, right? That fucking good old get out of jail free card. My understanding is that the Wisconsin Center used whatever wristband they had in there. Fuck off. Fuck off. Seriously. Are we just supposed to take this all just lock, stock, and barrel, just all of it right there? We know they cheated. They're trying to tell us they didn't cheat. They're trying to make it very difficult to prove that they were cheating. And, yeah. So far, what have they found in Wisconsin? Well, we've also seen that they aren't actually doing signature checks, because a couple days ago I put up that Wisconsin whatever fucking follow-up video. And this just broke last night. The Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel reported Tuesday that Recount uncovered 386 absentee ballots that have not been counted due to human error. Yeah, see, it's never actually anything that, went wrong. The votes alone would not be enough, yeah, obviously. But when you're also not checking signatures or doing any kind of verification, you're just simply going, oh, this looks good, over there. Doesn't mean fuck all. This is getting stolen right in front of our faces, and we're all just supposed to live with it. Stupid. Stupid. But yeah, as we found out yesterday, shit was getting certified. We knew that Wisconsin, I think it was yesterday, got officially certified, and a whole bunch of other shit in there too, so let's do this. One of President Donald Trump's lawyers said the certification issued by state officials of the presidential election are merely a procedural step. Well, what does she know? She's just a lawyer. The certification by state officials is simply a procedural step. Attorney Jenna Ellis wrote on November 23rd, "We are going to continue combating election fraud around the country as we fight to count all legal votes. Americans must be assured that the final results are fair and legitimate. It comes as the Board of Canvassers voted 3-0 to certify the election in the state. One Republican on the board abstained from voting, while the other Republican voted to certify, probably because they had their dog captive and was going to murder them if they didn't vote that way, because that's their tactics. Learn to live with it." Last week, Georgia Governor Brian Kemp and Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger, hopefully I never have to say that name again, announced the results of the presidential election were certified. Obviously, because he did such a great job with that fucking re-audit that you have to go through it again, dumbass. Kemp, in a press conference on November 20th, called for an audit of the process, while his spokesman told news outlets the governor has formalized the certification delivered to our office of the Secretary of State as required by state law. Cool. Some Trump surrogates and allies expressed hope that Michigan state lawmakers could intervene and vote to send up their own slate of electors to the Electoral College, rather than ones that were selected by Democrats at gunpoint. Two Michigan Supreme Court justices urged a lower court to move quickly and meaningfully assess allegations of voter fraud. They won't, according to the November 23rd order that was denied an appeal by two Wayne County voters who sought to halt certification to audit so that an audit could be carried out. But it doesn't matter. You've seen how well those audits in Wisconsin and Georgia have gone. Last week, two Republicans said they were harassed and pressured into voting to certify the county's elections. They covered that, while also saying they were promised an audit that never came. Go fucking figure. Democrats lying? Oh, you'd never see that happen. The court noted that in order to... quote, let me start that again. Fucking Christ. The court noted in its order the presence of troubling and serious allegations of fraud and irregularities, but your eyes just deceive you. Just shut up and listen. The justices noted that the plaintiffs produced evidence to back their allegations, including one in which ballots were counted from voters whose names weren't in poll books. That doesn't matter now, does it? Instructions were also allegedly handed down by officials in some areas to disobey election laws and regulations, the court says. The two judges called for the most expedited consideration possible of the remaining issues, saying that the trial court should meaningfully assess the plaintiff's allegations in an evidentiary hearing, among other means, and that went in one ear and out the other. I am cognizant that many American believes the plaintiff's claims of electoral fraud and misconduct are frivolous and obstructive. Of course. I am equally cognizant to that many Americans are of the view that the 2020 election was not fully free and fair. But those people have eyes and ears and have done research for themselves, and they will be sent to the re-education camps very shortly. Wrote Michigan Supreme Court Justice Stephen Markman, with Justice Brian Zahara joining him. Trump's legal team, meanwhile, said that they believe that some of their lawsuits will make it to the United States Supreme Court. More than likely. The U.S. Third Court of Appeals on November 23rd agreed to hear their case in Pennsylvania. So it's all just going through the motions, and that's all we've been seeing right now. Don't look at the man behind the curtain pulling all the strings. That is merely just a part of the plan, right? I know that it's, 3 weeks ago now at this point, but we all went to bed Tuesday night. Trump was up 800,000 votes in Pennsylvania, up by like 500,000 in Michigan, and like 200,000 in Wisconsin. But magically, all of those flipped overnight. I know, right? There's nothing to see there. And when the people recounting the votes don't take their job seriously by just doing a straight recount, how are we supposed to take this seriously? But yeah, we're supposed to be getting an audit in Georgia and some rather late-breaking news, sort of. We'll see where this goes, because I don't quite know what can possibly come out of this, but at least we're going to be having public hearings in Arizona, Michigan, and Pennsylvania. What will this amount to? I don't know. It's a short week in the United States. You guys get to enjoy the wonderful holiday of Thanksgiving, and hope you guys take the time to enjoy your friends and family during that. But here's something to look forward to. It's supposed to start tomorrow and continue into next week when it's back to business as usual, and hopefully we'll have some more information as to what the Trump legal team is actually doing. Anyways, here, the Donald J. Trump for President campaign legal team today announced that the state legislatures in Pennsylvania, Arizona, and Michigan will hold public hearings on the election beginning tomorrow and next week in an effort to provide confidence that all legal votes have been counted and illegal votes have not been counted in the November 3rd election. At this point, it's just all votes have been counted, regardless if they are alive or not, or even exist. The first hearing held by Pennsylvania State Senate will be conducted tomorrow, Wednesday, November 25th, in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, where each participating senator will give a 5-minute opening statement, followed by a testimony from witnesses who have filed affidavits attesting to the 2020 election fraud. So it's going to kind of be like the social media hearings where Jack Dorsey and his robot friend turned up and were questioned harshly by Ted Cruz and Josh Hawley and were patted on the bottom and given a big novelty-sized lollipop by the Democrat senators. Something like that. It's just important who is going to turn up from the Pennsylvania State Senate and if their testimony is going to fall on deaf ears or not, because, I don't know, according to lawyers, affidavits are evidence, but if you're in the media and you're pushing this narrative that there's nothing to see here, affidavits are not evidence whatsoever. So I'm going to go with the lawyers on this one. On Monday, November 30th, the Arizona legislature will be holding their own hearing, followed by the Michigan legislature holding their own hearing on Tuesday, December 1st. Details for both hearings to follow. It is in everyone's interest to have full vetting of election irregularities and fraud, said Mayor Giuliani. And the only way to do that is with public hearings, complete with witnesses, videos, pictures, and other evidence of illegalities from the November 3rd election. We are pleased that the state legislatures of Pennsylvania, Arizona, and Michigan are convening hearings to examine the November 3rd presidential election, added Trump campaign senior legal advisor and personal attorney to President Donald J. Trump, Jenna Ellis. Could she have a longer title? There are serious irregularities. We have proof of fraud in a number of states, and it is important for all Americans to have faith in our electoral process. Restore hope is more apt at this point. All we have wanted from the outset is to count every legal vote and discount every illegal vote. State legislatures are uniquely qualified and positioned to hold hearings on election irregularities and fraud before electors are chosen. Exactly. That's why it was very important to point out that it is merely symbolic and just business as usual when it comes to certifying the vote, because the Electoral College convenes mid-December and nothing gets decided before then. That one is constitutionally guaranteed. The rest of this stuff is just a show trial by the media and the corpse of Joe Biden. As established in Article 2, Section 1.2 of the United States Constitution, the state legislatures have the sole authority to select their representatives to the Electoral College, providing a critical safeguard against voter fraud and election manipulation, which we have seen, which apparently can be proven. as long as we look at the signatures and verify the actual ballots. Because if you are a judge in Pennsylvania, you can just throw it out by saying, oh, you want me to disenfranchise all the voters? No, how about just the late ballots that were supposed to be segregated out, and you got direction from Justice Alito to do so, and meanwhile conveniently forgot to do so, and therefore everything just got counted all stupidly and willy-nilly. I don't know, I think election fraud news is probably going to slow down. Probably hear something about what happened in, Pennsylvania starts up tomorrow. I'm sure a bunch of people will get doxxed and threatened and harassed. Probably a bunch of state senators for Pennsylvania, so I'll look forward to seeing those, and probably people cave in the next couple of days, but yeah, and the rest of those Republican senators in the different legislatures will probably have a real tough time for Thanksgiving. So you'd like to think otherwise, but the evidence kind of proves to be indicative of a very tough holiday for those individuals. But yeah, that's what we know today. Hopefully, we'll get these these election suits, the ones that are actually filed by the Trump team. Hopefully they see the light of day. And yeah, I'm going to be in for a long haul on this one. Unless everything just gets tossed out because, I don't know, Trump Hitler, right? Anyways, guys, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.